when you're on your own like you are now, do you have difficulties handling the infinite number of options that are available to you? And that agency that you have, that is one of the best parts of being on your own, can also be one of the most intimidating. It seems like you somehow, it doesn't seem like it's an issue for you. It seems like that you thrive on that infiniteness of possibility.
That's a good question. And honestly, I would have to think about more, like, hardly about where I stand with regard to that question. It is definitely sometimes overwhelming when you have all of that optionality. I agree, but then again, after having spent so many years at big tech, I really, really, I was thirsty for this type of agency where I can just do whatever I want and like kind of like get that type of a win, so to speak. And so, worst case, I join some AI lab and then in a couple more years I try again, but this time I actually failed once. So that's actually an asset and something that puts me in a much better position because I know now what to look for. For example, one of the biggest mistakes I made during my big tech career is that, given that I knew that my goal is to start a startup eventually, I didn't focus more on people and building relationships and looking for that co-founder while I was working there, explicitly always keeping in the back of my head, hey, this is a person I might recruit or have as a co-founder next day. I never thought about that explicitly, and I was not deliberate about it. And I think that was by far my biggest mistake I made so far in my career.
So that's actually something right now you have on your LinkedIn profile, that you're looking for a technical co-founder. So at least at the time of us recording this, your current role is listed as solo founder of Runa AI, and
Mhm.
and then in parentheses after your job title it says solo founder open bracket actively looking for a technical co-founder close bracket. So that
Yeah.
seems to tie in here. And so one quick thing is, it seems like you are already a technical co-founder. So it's interesting that it sounds like you're looking for your CTO to complement you as
Mhm.
CEO potentially. And so you can fill us in on that. And then, yeah, let us know what you're looking for. Maybe your technical co-founder is listening to this podcast right now.
That would be amazing. I mean, first of all, why waste good real estate, right? I know how many people are visiting my LinkedIn profile every day, and actually, my previous co-founder that we split away since then, but he found me through my LinkedIn, and so I'm very well aware of the views I'm getting there, and so I'm just using it. So that's why I have that message there. And then the thing is, I talk with a lot of people, and a lot of them have amazing backgrounds. I even talked with some of my ex DeepMind colleagues. The thing is, you cannot compensate that easily for the lack of not having spent the time together in the same room and building for multiple months. The best supplement for the best kind of alternative to that is to fly over wherever that person is or vice versa, and you spend some time building together before you commit. And that's what I've done with my previous co-founder, but despite that, it still turned out we are not the right match. And since then I realized the reason you asked me about the technical part. So obviously I'm very technical. I'm a technical person. I worked as a software engineer initially at Microsoft, then as a machine learning engineer, and finally as a research engineer at DeepMind. So I had to pass all of those hard tech interviews, and I've demonstrated by building all of these products in the open that I know how to build really anything. So it's not about that. It's just that when you're building a startup, I'm talking with like customers. I'm doing this. I'm talking with VCs. I'm networking. I'm doing a ton of stuff. I cannot be like just a cog in a system building a single thing. I'm very breadth first search, so to speak. Um, and so I need somebody to complement me and handle and be like the chief science officer or chief technology officer or whatnot. Yeah, that's kind of the brief explanation there. But also, if you take a look at YC advice, everything they say there is much better to start off with technical co-founders and learn sales and business stuff, because it's easier to go that direction than to go from business to learning engineering and learning that type of analytical thinking. Now, I wouldn't 100% say that's always the case, but it's one of those things. It's ballpark correct. I think that's ballpark correct thing to say. Unless you're truly introverted, you don't know how to handle anything, then you will probably never be able to learn about business or sales or those things. But if you're just like a regular human being and you have engineering background, you're gonna be easier learning that stuff than vice versa.